Daniel, real pleasure to meet you.
Good to meet you.
Thank you for flying over from LA. Can you just talk us through what your work is and how you spend your time?
We teach people how to perceive their environment the same way that a bat perceives its environment. We learn to issue a sound, which could be a tongue click, and that sound goes out and it bounces off of everything in the environment, and it comes back.
Now, you're going to demonstrate this to us, so let's just talk a little bit about your own situation.
I am totally blind. Both eyes were removed by 13 months of age, and I have no visual memory. So my perception of space and perception of the world comes entirely through touch and through hearing.
Bring you over this way.
I'm taking Daniel to somewhere he has never been before. He's going to show us how, just by making a clicking sound from his mouth and without using his cane, he can perceive the physical world around him in amazing detail.
So you've got maybe a tree that's lost all of its leaves, or, wait a second now. Okay, now I take that all back. Okay, so you've got a wall there, and then you have an entryway here. So basically, this goes between the wall and something else.
Yes.
Let me just see what we have here. You can go between here. Okay, there's something way over there, and it's a textured building. So there are alcoves. I can hear colonnades.
So Daniel, we brought you to a car. You were confident you'd be able to give us a sense of the shape of the car and to describe its contours.
Yeah, I think so. So, all right. So we're starting with the bonnet. It's fairly low bonnet, and then it kind of comes up, across the top, across the top, across the top, across the top, and then it starts to stop right there, and it comes down at a fairly steep angle, but not straight down.
There you go. That's the car. It's difficult for me to understand how you'd have such a spatial sense of a wall or a car of exactly that shape, but not a visual thing that you're putting in that space at the same time. So I suppose
you might think of it like being in a choir or in an orchestra or near a performance where you have many things going on all at one time. And if you're listening, you really have that sense of surrounding, of sound surrounding you. And so what I often tell people is that the world is really like a living symphony. Every sound made in the world and every texture presented in the world carries its own meaning. This car, in a sense, is kind of like an instrument, except that instead of making its own sound, it's reflecting sounds that I'm making.
It's been an extraordinary afternoon spending time with you. Thank you so much for coming along and sharing your wisdom and your expertise with us. Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you very much.
Please check it. There's nothing attached. Pick it up. Have a look at it. Yeah. Okay. Now, if you hold it in, actually, hold both hands out. If you take it, just so you can hold the base of it like that. Okay. Just up like that. That's great.